The road was a ribbon of black velvet, swallowed by the darkness on either side. My headlights cut a weak trembling path through the night. Then, with a cough and a sputter, they died. Everything went dark. My car coasted to a stop, the silence suddenly deafening. I was alone miles from the nearest town with a dead car and a phone with no signal. Great. Just my luck. To my right, stretching out into the gloom, was a massive cornfield. The stalks were taller than me, rustling in a breeze I couldn't feel. I tried the ignition again. Nothing. Not even a click. I popped the hood, but the engine was just a confusing tangle of metal in the moonlight. I wasn't a mechanic. Defeated, I leaned against the car, the cold metal seeping through my jacket. That's when I heard it. A faint rustling from the corn, but it wasn't the wind. This was different. It was rhythmic, deliberate, like something dragging itself through the dry leaves. My heart started to pound a frantic rhythm against my ribs. I told myself it was just an animal, a deer, maybe a raccoon. But the sound grew closer, heavier. A dry, crackling snap, like a twig breaking under a heavy foot. I strained my eyes, trying to pierce the darkness between the corn stalks. My breath hitched. Was that a shape? A tall, slender silhouette standing just inside the tree line of the corn. It was perfectly still, too still. I froze, my hand gripping the car door handle. The figure didn't move. It just stood there, a dark cutout against the slightly less dark night. A primal fear, cold and sharp, shot through me. This wasn't an animal. I slowly, quietly tried to open the car door, but the handle wouldn't budge. It was jammed. Panic began to set in, hot and choking. I pulled harder, rattling it, the sound echoing in the oppressive silence. Then the figure moved. It took one slow, deliberate step out of the corn. And another. It was unnaturally tall, its limbs long and thin, moving with a jerky, disjointed gait. It wasn't walking like a person. It was shambling. The rustling sound was louder now, a constant, scraping noise accompanying its every move. I couldn't see a face, just a dark void where one should be. I scrambled away from the door, pressing myself against the far side of the car, trying to make myself small. My mind was screaming. What was that thing? I fumbled in my pocket for my keys, my fingers clumsy and numb. I had to get inside, lock the doors, do something. The figure kept coming, its slow, relentless pace terrifying. It was halfway to the road now. In a last desperate act, I jabbed the key into the driver's side door and twisted. It clicked open. I practically fell inside, slamming the door shut and locking it. My hands were shaking so violently I could barely fit the key into the ignition. I was hyperventilating, my gaze locked on the approaching shadow. It was at the edge of the road, its form becoming clearer in the faint moonlight. It was gaunt, impossibly thin, and its head was tilted at an unnatural angle. Tears streamed down my face as I turned the key. "Please, please, please," I whispered. The engine sputtered. Once, twice. The figure was on the asphalt now, its long, spindly fingers reaching out. On the third try, the engine roared to life. The headlights flashed on, illuminating the creature fully for a split second. I didn't see a face, just a smooth, pale expanse of skin. I slammed the car into drive, stomped on the gas, and the tires screamed as they gripped a pavement. I didn't look back. I drove, my foot pressed to the floor, my eyes glued to the rearview mirror. For a few terrifying seconds, I thought I could see it, a tall, dark shape shrinking in the distance, standing in the middle of the road. Then it was gone. I drove all the way to the next city, the sun already beginning to rise by the time I pulled into a brightly lit gas station. The mechanic I called the next day said there was nothing wrong with my car. The battery was fine, the engine was perfect. He couldn't explain why it had stalled. But I knew. I can still hear the rustling of the corn and see that tall, shadowy figure stepping out of the darkness. Some nights, when I close my eyes, I'm back on that dark road and I see it coming for me. Some things you never really escape. Thanks for watching. If you have a story that keeps you up at night, share it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more Tales from the Dark.